Welcome back to another episode of Against the Insanity. Coming up on today's show, we've got auto insurance companies pulling out of California. Also, insurance companies planning on dropping coverage for Hyundais and Kias. And also, I'd like to talk about a little feature that the Flipper Zero, what to know about the viral hacking tool that you've been seeing online as of late. What's going on, Ricky? How you doing?
Hey, pretty good. Not a whole lot going on. Last week we took a little break for Mother's Day weekend, so we're back at it for another show.
You know, loving each other's mothers takes time.
Shit. I'm a mother lover. You're a mother lover.
So yeah, one of the first stories I kind of wanted to kick off because I've been talking to you about it. I ran into a little bit of an issue. You know, as you know, we're building out a van to do van life and travel and stuff in. And the last couple of weeks we had been having an issue trying to get it insured. I've been calling around. I've been a member of Progressive now for almost like 20 years, and called them and they couldn't insure my van. And next thing you know, like I'm in a little bit of a situation where I can't find, insurance at all. And I went looking and I found this article on CBS News, Los Angeles, that major auto insurers are pulling back in California marketplace because they're saying drivers are just too expensive to insure. Californians are driving as much as they were before the pandemic, but apparently not as well. I can attest to that. Fucking agonizing. But auto accidents are up, and some insurance companies say they are paying out more than they are taking in, but the insurance commissioner says the facts don't support their claims. From 2020 to 2021, auto insurance losses spiked 25%, while premiums increased only 4.5%. And apparently, actually, just kind of sidebar there, that's what they're saying. They're saying that insurance companies aren't being allowed because of the COVID pandemic and stuff to raise their rates and adjust them properly so they can actually, start taking in more money. So what a lot of these insurance companies are doing, they're not writing policies for these vehicles. I mean, the lady at Progressive straight up told me, we can't write a policy for that vehicle. Just denied. That was it. No, come back later, nothing. We're just not writing policies for that vehicle. But anyway, I'll finish the article. The rate and severity of auto accidents are up, as well as costs to cover them. The cost to rent a car is up 33%, and cost for new vehicles is up 11%, said Denny Ritter, American Property Casualty Insurance Association. In California, some insurers haven't seen rate increase approved by the insurance commissioner in over 3 years, obviously because of COVID and pandemic. We've seen that you have insurers who are paying out more than claims than they are taking in with premiums, and that's not a sustainable business model. California is very consumer friendly, and insurers must have any rate hike approved. State Farm, Allstate, Farmers are asking the California Department of Insurance for a nearly 7% premium increase. This is crazy. Progressive is asking for more than 19%. Local agent insurers are now making it harder for new drivers to get new auto policies. This is fucking crazy, dude. That was such a fucking pain in the ass. Like, I've never had that experience before. It was tough. And nobody's talking about this.
No, that is crazy. Like, I don't understand. So, with the pandemic, people that are like building houses or repairing things for their homes, things like that, like obviously we all know like the price of lumber and just all the materials, the price of that shit went up. But I also noticed too, like during all this time, like your insurance premiums for your home just kind of went up. Like unannounced, it just kind of went up. And I don't understand why the insurance companies that theirs didn't. Like, there's more of a process to raise the rates, or what exactly goes all into that? And I don't know. I'm just asking, like, why didn't the car rates go up?
Yeah, because apparently it has to be approved here in California. And like, I didn't know that. Like I said, a lot of this was actually news to me. And it's crazy too, because like it just, to continue just a little bit of the article, it says Geico has closed all of its offices in California and Progressive stopped advertising in the state. State Farm, you can no longer get quotes online by calling them. You have to go to an agent's office. And this is funny because so I had put in a quote for Geico. I was like, I put in the VIN number and stuff. It accepted it. They sent me a quote via the internet. And I'm like, okay, let's try to proceed forward with this quote. So like I proceeded forward with the quote. And the next thing you know, like I get to the point where, I think I'm going to submit the quote and pay for the policy or whatever. And it says, oh, well, this has to be underwritten for 15 days and under review before at this time you don't have insurance. So I'm like, so now it's going to take an additional 15 days. So then I tried to call Geico like hell. And I called and it's like, oh, we found your number on file. We see you have a quote here. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm calling about. It goes to a point. It was like, we're no longer talking about quotes on the phone. You have to go online to apply or get any information. And it literally just hung up on me.
That's crazy.
It's fucking nuts, dude. And I'm like, I can just imagine what people are doing like that, but buy these cars and shit. And it's like the panic starts to set in. You have like 30 days. And I mean, our van's technically considered a commercial vehicle, but you can get insurance on it non-commercially. But it was such a fucking pain in the ass, dude.
Yeah, that is crazy. And I think we talked about it, correct me if I'm wrong, but in California, like if you don't have insurance, what happens if you don't have insurance?
Your license can be suspended.
That's right.
Through the DMV.
So you're there actively trying to get insurance for a vehicle. And let's say you weren't able to successfully get it. Could you get your license suspended even though it's no fault to you because you've been trying to get insurance, but you weren't able to?
That's an interesting, thing, because I was talking to Amy about that. I'm like, what are we going to do if we can't get insurance on this fucking van? It's sitting out here on the road. Cops drive by all the time and stuff, and the DMV is going to send us our plates, and they're going to see that the vehicle's still not insured. So now what? You know what I mean? Like I said to Amy, I'm like, your name is on this vehicle. They're going to send you a nasty ram. Because it happened to me once where the reason I found that out, I found it out the hard way. I forgot at one point to pay our insurance premiums or whatever for it was like a couple of days. But I got a letter from the DMV saying if your vehicle's not insured, we can suspend your license through the DMV. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
I imagine that the cost of parts for, vehicles, having it in the repair shop getting fixed, I'm sure the price of that shit went up too. So I get the insurance company's point of view. Like, shit's more expensive. They're having more claims come in and they're not able to raise rates. I see it somewhat, but at the same time, like, you need to have insurance.
And I understand them completely when they say people are fucking driving like dickheads. Like I've been fucking yesterday, even going out, me and Amy had to do some shopping. My sister's wedding's coming up, and just driving to the fucking mall and it's agonizing. People are driving like fucking dickheads. Oh yeah. And did people forget how to drive after all this shit? Like what the fuck?
I think that's what it is, dude. People were locked in their house for too long, and they go out and they forgot how to fucking drive. I think a lot of people need to get a license test.
Yeah, or fucking Uber places, dude. If you can't fucking figure out how to drive now, just take a fucking Uber. For Christ's sakes, man, you're annoying the shit out of me.
Yeah. There's when I go out and drive, this has happened a few times to me, but there are in parking lots. You know how sometimes there's entrances into a parking lot, and it'll say it's not an exit. It's only an entrance. So, I see people doing it all the fucking time. They continue to go to this is not an exit, and they leave. And it's can you not fucking read? Were you not, you haven't worked in 2 years because of COVID and you completely forgot to drive and read? People just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's getting bad. Yeah. I see it all the time. People drive complete shit. There's been a few times where people almost hit me and dude, pay the fuck attention, man.
And it's so frustrating too out here because it's not like back home, where you go to a Target parking lot or something like that and there's plenty of spaces. You get to these malls and stuff at 10, 11 o'clock in the afternoon and it is agonizing to even find parking, let alone parking for my truck. It's just oh my God, that drives me fucking nuts. It's terrible. It takes a lot out of me. I was so frustrated by the end of the day yesterday. I came home and laid down. I was like, I need a fucking break.
Right. To continue on the insurance, so the next one I wanted to bring up is Kia and Hyundai. So major insurers plan to drop coverage of some Kia and Hyundai models due to thefts. At least two major automotive insurers are refusing to protect certain Kia and Hyundai models because they lack anti-theft measures common in today's cars, according to reports. Both State Farm and Progressive confirmed with CNN that they no longer write policies for some Kia and Hyundai models manufactured between 2015 and 2019. In September 2022, the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety and the Highway Loss Data Institute reported that vehicle thefts claims for 2015 to 19 Hyundai and Kia vehicles were nearly twice as common as the Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat.
Oh my God, dude.
Car theft spikes during the pandemic. Highway Loss Data Institute Senior Vice President Matt Moore said in a report, "These numbers tell us that some vehicles may be targeted because they are fast or worth a lot of money. In other cases, because they're easy to steal."
I was gonna say, yeah, neither the Hyundai nor the fucking Kia are fast or fucking worth a lot
Or
of money.
expensive.
So
The report also noted that Hyundai and Kia vehicles being stolen lack electronic mobilizers that can hinder a thief's ability to steal a car by just breaking into the car and bypassing the ignition. Once immobilizers were added to the cars, Moore said, the vehicle's theft of Kia and Hyundais plunged. The report also noted that immobilizers were standard in 26% of Kia and Hyundai vehicle models in 2015, but standard in 96% of all other manufacturers. So
that's fucking crazy too.
They just weren't putting the shit in the vehicles. And I'm not sure if it had, well, it wouldn't actually. No, never mind. I was going to say something about like, chip shortage and all that type of shit. But no, this is before the pandemic.
Mhm.
Shit
Yeah.
is going on like 2015. And there's I came across other information online. They're basically saying vehicles from as early as 2011 until 2019 that this shit was going on. So they just weren't doing things right for a long time, it seems, Kia and Hyundai. State Farm and Progressive did not immediately respond to inquiries seeking additional information about the claims. In a statement to CNN, State Farm confirmed temporary halting of writing insurance policies in some states for some Kia and Hyundai models, years, and trim levels. Progressive also confirmed with CNN that it was making changes in some areas. Progressive is increasing rates and limiting the sales of new insurance policies for those who have Kias and Hyundais that fit within the slot of vehicles that are at substantial risk. Kia and Hyundai vehicles theft are up as much as 300% over the past 2 years in some cities. So some of those cities I wanted to talk about. So Philadelphia, PA, 21%. Woo!
Super fucking liberal. Okay.
Columbus, Ohio, 45% of vehicles. Orlando, Florida, 17%. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 58%. Minneapolis, Minnesota, 33%. And Grand Rapids, Michigan, 49% of all these vehicles. So those are the, 6 states that have the most theft for these Hyundais and Kias.
It's funny. Like the Hyundai, one of the corporate office is not too far away from where I live. Here in
Oh, really?
California. Yeah. Every time you drive by, they always have like all the Hyundai vehicles on display out there. Well, they're obviously probably newer ones, but it'd be funny if somebody actually fucking stole one of the displays, drove off with it.
It's so crazy though. Like if you look on social media, your YouTubes, your TikToks, all the Twitter, even like there are videos of people step by step showing you how to fucking steal a Kia and a Hyundai. Like it's crazy. And it doesn't take much time at all. I mean, a lot of these kids, primarily they're younger people that are doing this shit. They're stealing vehicles within 30 to 40 seconds. They break the window, they jump in, they get to the steering column, and there's like this USB. I guess the ignition switch, like the push button, ties into the ignition. And there's like a wire there. If you unplug it, it's just a USB plug. And you can plug in a USB that is programmed to override the system. And you turn the key, the car's fucking on, and it thinks that the key's in it when it's not. And there you are. You fucking stole the vehicle and you take it.
That's fucking nuts, dude. See, that's why I hate a lot of this fucking technology in cars, man. It's like, it's good, it's convenient, but in the same sense, it's fucking terrible for fucking, if you've got hackers and shit like that.
Right. So apparently, Hyundai Motors America and Kia America will resolve class action lawsuits prompted by a surge in vehicle thefts with a settlement agreement that could be valued at $200 million. And this settlement covers about 9 million vehicles from years 2011 until 2022. That is nuts.
That is fucking crazy.
So, like, I understand Kia and Hyundai, it definitely seems like they weren't equipping these vehicles correctly from the very beginning, having these systems in place to make them harder to steal. But I guess my takeaway from this also is like everyone's blaming Hyundai and Kia, but you're not blaming the person that's smashing your window out, jumping in your vehicle and taking your shit. Like it's the classic, let's blame the wrong fucking person here.
Let's blame the gun, and as opposed to the person who, goes and uses the gun for violence. Yeah.
Right. And I see that with this too. It's like, I get it. Hyundai and Kia, they probably should have did things different, because all the other car manufacturers are. But to completely blame them for it at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, dude. I think it's bullshit because it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, it's easy to sue a big corporation that has all this money, but are you going to go after the thief that has, $5 in his checking account? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's one of them deals. It's crazy. Like, this shit was going on for this long. 2011 to 2022. That's not good.
Well, which kind of brings me, it's kind of crazy that, we all worked on this, this week in terms of like the cars and the theft and stuff like that, because kind of to wrap it up here, that's why I threw in this article about the Flipper Zero. I've been seeing a lot of this stuff on like TikTok and like people showing like what this device is capable of. And it's crazy because like this is actually assisting people in high-tech theft of vehicles or even just unlocking your car and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to cover this article and we could talk about it a little bit more in depth. This is the Flipper Zero Explained, what to know about the viral hacking tool. Wireless signals are everywhere. Phones, Wi-Fi networks, and bank cards are just a few technologies that use wireless signals to communicate. Hacking them typically requires some cybersecurity knowledge, but Flipper Zero makes it a cinch. Flipper Zero is a toy-like portable hacking tool. The multi-tool is marketed to geeks, red team hackers, and pen testers to expose vulnerabilities in the world around them, like Cybersecurity X-Ray. The tool is open source and completed a successful Kickstarter in 2020. The tool gained popularity on TikTok, where an array of videos from hackers and script kiddies playing pranks in public. The videos, hackers turn off electronic menus in fast food restaurants, remotely open charging ports of strangers' Teslas, and even change the gas prices at the gas station.
Oh my God.
Dude, it's a menace. The hackers simply point the device at the targeted system like a remote control, press a button or two, and the target screens turn off, the display numbers change, or the charging port opens. These videos make Flipper out to be a skeleton key for IoT. I don't know what that means, but this is an exaggeration. Most of the videos were likely staged and required significant penetration to pull off. The gadget is still a powerful intuition tool and investigated cybersecurity in the physical world. Although it can't manipulate every wireless device in its path, it can read signals wireless devices emit. With this capability, it can reveal a significant amount of information about the spectrum of electronic devices, even if it can't really change gas prices at the click of a button. For example, it can do the following: read a stranger's car pressure sensor data, read the body temperature of a dog or animal with a microchip embedded in it, detect the signals an iPhone sends out for facial recognition and the frequencies of those emissions, read or record a signal from a garage door opener, cloning a building entry card. So that's what
fob access.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so if you find somebody's fob, you can actually clone that fob and freaking use it to get into doors. Because I was watching people do that. I was actually watching people too, because it has built-in like NFC and RFID. I watched people go into like fucking Target, and those amoebas?
Yeah.
They cloned amoebas, like a Zelda amoeba, and they took it home and they used it on their fucking Wii U or the Switch, and it worked. They literally it was like having the amoeba without even being
actually having it. That's nuts, dude.
And I watch people also intercept the signals of when you're going to your car and you unlock your car, it was intercepting those signals too and reading it. And now I don't know, I didn't see them unlock the car afterwards, but I know there are devices that do that. And that honestly, you just follow the person home after intercepting their signal, unlock their car, and you can rob their car in the middle of it.
Right.
So shit like this is making that a lot more prevalent too. There's technologies out there. You've got all these wireless signals. That's why a lot of times I still try to, when I can, I use the key to my truck just in case, like to unlock the door, because for these reasons, you have people that sit in fucking parking lots and read those fucking signals, and then they follow you home and fucking steal all the shit out of your truck.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Regarding the vehicles, and I'm not sure if they all do this, and maybe this is kind of a rabbit hole conversation, but I know, for example, my fiance's car, if you turn the vehicle on and the key is not in the vehicle, it will let you drive it so long, but then it will shut off if it gets too far away from the key.
Okay.
I'm not sure if all vehicles are doing that shit.
I think some do that. Yeah. I mean, I think you're right on that.
But yeah, I'm wondering if they're all doing it. But like, that's some crazy shit. I mean, the whole key fob thing, that kind of weirds me out. A lot of places, that's what they use for access control into a building. Mm-hmm. And dude, if like, depending on the company or the building or whatever, if you know of somebody that comes in at a certain time of the day and they're like, let's say they're like an administrator, they probably have access to the whole entire building. Like if you're sitting in the parking lot waiting for that person to show up and you capture their fob data, you can just enter that building then as that person.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
That should worry people, because that's the thing. And, and people wonder, oh, well, why do I got to pay $25 to replace my fob? Well, it's cases like this, because if somebody finds that fob, now they're through the building with your access completely. They'd have this device. It looks like you, and they could go in and steal a bunch of stuff. And guess who's going to get blamed for it? You. Right. So when you pay the $25, it's a lot better than having to rekey the whole system.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole RFID shit, like, I don't know, man. Like, even like your debit card these days, you know how you have like the tap to pay feature. Mm-hmm. It's nice, it's convenient, but I think about that shit. Like, if you're using tap, like, it can be intercepted, your card. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, dude. I mean, the technology, it's crazy. It's getting crazier by the day. People are able to figure this shit out and hack into systems and manipulate systems. Like, it's not good. They really need to address some of these security issues. Technology is great, but if you don't have the securities in place to make sure the shit's not getting intercepted, we could be going down a very dangerous path.
Well, like with those tap cards and stuff, like you said, you set up in an airport. You sit down on like one of the benches and stuff. You always have people walking by you. You could be within, a couple yards of people's, not phones, but their cards and stuff like that. You could just sit there on your laptop and read that information just as you sit there off of people's cards if they're not, and they have no idea.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think about stuff like that. Yes, it's convenient to use that tap feature. You can use it anywhere, but I'm like, could they do that to an iPhone? What if you have like Apple Pay on your iPhone and shit like that? I mean, obviously.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's still RFID. Like, you need to have your phone so close to the reader. So yeah, I would assume yes.
So yeah, and I mean the Flipboard also has, or the Flipper also has like Wi-Fi dev boards and stuff that you can plug in and actually upgrade it too. That allow you to, obviously connect to Wi-Fi networks and shit and, do tests. It's like for pen testers, but still, like, there are people that are going to use it not for that reason.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then, when it comes to vehicles and stuff, a lot of manufacturers don't think about a lot of this stuff. And, we end up with these problems. And then here you are. You go to get insurance and you can't get fucking insurance because the car ain't. Insurers don't want to insure the car because it's so easy to break into.
Right.
I think if more people knew that, they would take a little bit more, security measures and shit. Pretty wild, dude. Pretty wild. Some cool things about the show before we finish up here. We finally, on YouTube, we hit about 31 views on our last show, which is probably a record for us, which is kind of cool. Obviously, some people actually saw the show if we're not being censored by YouTube. It is very hard to find us. So I'd like to do more trying to get us out there. And, we are on Rumble as well as YouTube. And eventually, we'll be in the iTunes store full time. We just recently went live about a month ago with our PayPal. It's Against the Insanity 24/7 at gmail.com. If you really enjoy the show, you want to kick us a couple bucks, you can send us money via PayPal there, or, just drop us a comment or something like that in one of our YouTube videos. We want to know if you recently came across the show and you listened, what you thought of it. If it's shit, whatever, I don't care. Let me know. I've got thick skin. I can handle it. But yeah, we want to continue to do this more on a full-time basis. There are times kind of life gets in the way, but we do this as a labor of love, something that me and Ricky both enjoy. So, we want to bring more content to you and spend some time like this. Like I said, when it came to the insurance thing, I had no idea until it actually happened to me. And, I figured that'd be something good we could cover from the show. And Ricky was telling me about the Kias and Hyundais being stolen and stuff. It actually ended up being a really good show. I'm happy with the way it's turned out. Another one in the books.
Yep.
Until next week, we'll see you later.
Adios, mofo.